afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, YGTV viewers. Welcome to the Potting Shed. My name is Bex and this is Adam.
I am indeed. Yeah.
You are.
We're nice and snuggy in here today. It's been whittling down outside, but we're lovely and warm and cosy. We've got big, lovely, chunky jumpers on.
I know. Do you know what? It's that kind of weather, isn't it? For
like,
the big, chunky knits to come out.
Like a jumper that kind of hugs you.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's definitely what I've got on today. Right, I hope you are all sitting with a nice cup of tea in a nice warm house, maybe with a blanket over you, and you're ready for a couple of hours of us talking about plants and don't know what happened then. Talking about plants and gardening and stuff. Lovely to have your company. James is in already. Jules, Mauricia and George are in the chat on YouTube. Good afternoon to you. If you'd like to join in the chat, get on Facebook, get on YouTube. You can message and say hello to everybody. You can also ask questions if you want to. If you want to go to the website, which is YouGarden.com, you can actually go to the website and have a look at everything that we've selected for the show today. There is a specific show page. You go to the Live Now button or the YouGarden TV bit. If you're watching on a phone, you might have to go into the menu to find this bit, but you will see all of the items that we have got selected, and every single one of these comes with free postage.
It does. But you do have to do something a little bit special to get that. You've got to enter our YGTV, and it should be 0326.
Yes, it is.
That's our code, so you need to enter that code. If you enter the code, not only do you get free shipping, but also, with very good deals, might have a double up, might have a buy one, get one free. All those kind of special offers can all be yours if you just enter the code every time.
Yeah, always enter the code. I've just realised that the first item that we brought up onto screen, I brought the wrong item in. I brought the bare root. I haven't brought the pot, so we might have to skip that one and get back to it in a little while. But anyway, we'll sort it out, don't worry. So yes, it's free postage with every single item that we have selected for the show. If you're shopping the rest of the website, you will have to pay a postage cost. But I also want to point out there's two prices on the screen. You want to pay the lowest price, don't you? Well, you do that by joining our club. You can join today on your first order. It'll cost you £10 to join, but what that's going to give you is 15% discount for the next 12 months from all of your purchases. Plus, it'll give you £20 in product vouchers and a couple of free postage vouchers.
Which is good, and you get 7.5% off for things if you want to order a lawnmower or garden furniture or something like that. You can get sort of, 7.5% off those big ticket items as well. So, I mean, you join this, you will save money really, really quickly. So if you buy from us regularly, you'll be amazed. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, honestly. And if you auto-renew, it will stay at that £10 forever, for good. So just make sure you auto-renew every time. One
final thing then, you can send us emails if you want to. If you've got questions to ask, you want to send us some pictures, it's ygtv@yougarden.com. It is. That's exactly the address. There you go. It's on the screen for you. So if you want to send any emails, you're most welcome to. OK, we got through that. We got through the boring bits. Shall we talk about some plants for you? We've got amazing deals. We've got some grow your owns. We've got some perennials. We've got some bulbs. We've got some evergreens. We're going to come back to the cherry bush in a little while. And we're going to move on to this one here, which is not the Cantab at all. It's the Portuguese Laurel Standard. 511538 is the item number. But we are talking evergreen here, aren't we, Adam?
We are. We're talking evergreen. We're talking tough. Also, this is Portugal laurel. I mean, some people call it Portuguese, but it's Portugal laurel. And despite the fact that it kind of originates from that part of the world, this is a tough, tough shrub. Over the years, I've seen this shrub grow in full sun. I've seen it grow in shade, part shade. It is very, very drought tolerant. So if we have another summer, like last year, remember how bone dry it was for 2 or 3 months? These do fabulously well in those hot, dry summers. We've just had -6, -7, -12 in some areas. They get through the winter frosts as well. But all the year through, you have these beautiful, glossy, shiny leaves with these lovely serrated edges and the red-coloured stems. So even in the wintertime, you've got the colour from the stems and the leaves. And in spring and early summer, they have these kind of like elongated, white, fluffy flower heads with a sort of a fragrance to them. Loved by the pollinating insects, the butterflies, the bees. You can grow this as a standard plant if you want to, as we've done here, and just let it do its own thing. Or you can clip it and shape it because they're really, really good for using for topiary. So it's a really, really adaptable shrub, this. grow it in a container as well. I mean, you could already see there, that is a lot of plant in a little pot.
It is.
So just pop this on into like a 30-litre pot. There's the flowers for you. That's about kind of May, June time they flower. And at that point, you get the beautiful new growth come through. And as that happens, it will drop some of the older leaves as the new leaves come through.
It's good for pollinators as well, isn't it? Because the pollinators will love those flowers.
Yeah, I've seen these becks flowering in customers' gardens, and they are alive with bees, butterflies, lacewings, all those sort of really good, positive critters we want to bring into the garden. But as I say, it's tough in the summertime. If we have a super, super dry summer, it doesn't flinch once it's established because it originates from Spain, Portugal, that part of the world. But despite that, if we have a really, really cold winter, they get through that as well without flinching. So it is a very, very, very tough shrub, interesting shrub, but it looks good all the year through with the foliage, with the beautiful red stems, and of course the icing on the cake really is the beautiful white flowers that you get in spring and early summer.
I want to just show you how raring to grow that is. You can see that it's bursting out the bottom of the pot there, so that's a rooty beauty, absolutely desperate to get planted. I do think that these would work really nice in pairs as well, because if you were to put them either side of, you know, pathway, doorway, that sort of thing, you would have amazing structure and beauty all year round with that evergreen foliage, and of course the fragrance from the flowers when they come in May, June time. 511538 is the item number if you would like to go for the Portuguese Laurel Standard. It's only £21.24 with your club discount, saving you £10. You must use the offer code YGTV0326 when you place your order. There is a little box on the website that says, do you have an offer code? That's where you put that one. There's another box that says, do you have a voucher code? That's for your discount vouchers that you get with your club discount, your club discount and stuff. It's the offer code box that you need for the YGTV 0326.
So you could get this down to £16.24 then if you put one of your vouchers in.
Yeah, if you've got a £5 voucher to use.
And that's a lot of shrub for £16.24.
Yeah.
That's going to be perhaps £35, £40 in a garden centre for a shrub that size. I mean, that's getting on almost to kind of about 5-6 foot tall.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm 5'6", and it's definitely up to my sort of mouth. There you go, look. So it's at least 5 feet tall. 511538 is the item number then if you'd like to go for the Portuguese Laurel Standard. Let's go back, shall we? Because we have got the beautiful patio cherry Little Stella. We've got the right plant now. So we have got Little Stella available for you in the 4.5 litre pot. I've got one of these.
Good. And I'm glad you've got one of these as well, because these are my most favourite of our dwarf fruiting.
Are they?
Yeah, they're good. They're so dinky.
Oh, I love them.
I mean, we have Little Conference, we have Little Stella, we have Little Vic, and they look beautiful. And the weird thing about them is they only get to about a metre and a half tall, but they produce proper sized fruit. You don't get miniature fruit, so you're going to get lots of fruit from this over the years, but it's compact and small enough to grow in a pot or a container. I know I always say this, but literally if you're 3 floors up and just got a balcony, you can grow and pick your own gorgeous, super sweet cherries. And because this plant is nice and compact, you can make sure the birds don't eat your cherries. But of course in the spring, let's not forget the lovely, lovely, gorgeous blossom that you're going to get on these. I mean, the blossom does have a little bit of a sweetness to it, a bit of a sweet fragrance, but that lovely, beautiful cherry blossom, it's self-fertile, and then later in the summer, you're going to get clusters and clusters of these stunning cherries. And supermarket cherries are nice, but I tell you what, when you grow your own and you pick them at that absolute perfect, precise moment, you're going to taste cherries from this little plant like you've never tasted cherries before. Okay, so the dwarf size of it means it's really easy for you to pick the cherries, but also really easy to protect the cherries as well. Unfortunately, or fortunately, but the birds do tend to like cherries, and if you want your crop for yourself, you will need to, put some netting over the top of it to stop the birds from getting to it. But obviously, normal cherry trees get, ridiculously tall, don't they? You haven't got a hope with those.
Yeah, well, the birds are going to have them.
Yeah, well, you'd let them because you can't even get to the fruit yourself, can you? Unless you've got a cherry picker or ladders. This, I mean, you always will be able to pick fruit from this from a standing position. No ladders, no steps, no trestles, nothing like that, because it's on that dwarfing rootstock that means that although this top part wants to get big, the bottom part is saying, I'm having none of it.
Yeah.
You're going to stay miniature, you're going to stay small, you're going to stay compact. And obviously if you grow it in a container, then that will keep it even more kind of contained and miniature as the years go by. Now, I'm growing mine in a 30 litre heavy duty pot. So this is
is the perfect container to be able to grow these sorts of things in. Obviously, you can go for something a bit more decorative if you want, but I'm a big fan of the heavy-duty pots, and I've got so many plants growing in here. Not just grow your owns, but I've got, you know, beautiful plants growing in them as well. I've got rose bushes growing. I've got, what else have I got in there? I've got my Trachycarpus fortunii
I like
in there.
that. Yeah,
loads of different things. But yes, I have got my cherry little Stella in there as well. Now, we have got 4 of these available. They're a 40 centimetre diameter, 30 litre capacity for $16.97. That's a good price, isn't it?
Yeah, pots in recent years, the cost of pots has really gone through the roof. I mean, you can look online and stuff at some prices. So how we are doing 3 of these totally substantial pots, free shipping as well, by the way, for £16.97 as long as you put your YGTV code in. And I've got loads of these, and I use them for things like Sean's using at the moment, for deadheading. Sometimes we use them at work for distributing bark mulch or gravel between plants once we've done a planting scheme. Storage, all sorts of things you can do with these. In fact, even if you've got plants, for example, that need acid soil, but your soil is alkaline, you could always fill a pot up with ericaceous compost, put your little rhododendron or something in one of these pots, then bury the pot in the ground, and that way you've kept it separate from the alkaline soil, and you can grow those sort of plants as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so 130011 if you want to get 4 of the heavy-duty pots. It's a great, well, every time of year is a great time of year to invest in heavy-duty pots. You'll find so many uses for them. £16.97 is your club price. Hello, Gillian. Yes, we would all love a greenhouse like Sean's. But I'm going to be dreaming for a little while about it, I think.
You'll get
It's
there.
not going to happen anytime soon, but yes, it is beautiful, isn't it? Hello to Anne, who's joined us as well. Hello to Millie, who's come in. Verna, who's come in. I think I've named everybody so far. If I've missed you, I'm so sorry. But yes, welcome to you all. Matt will keep an eye on Facebook for us and let us know who's watching on Facebook, and let us know if you've got any comments on there as well. We've brought you over to our favourites table. Is Sean watching? Hey, Sean! Sean's watching on Facebook, apparently.
Jolly good.
Are you all right,
Afternoon,
Sean? Oh, and Naomi's there as well. Hello to you. And Gillian's over there as well. Gillian, are you watching in both places? Or is it a different Gillian? Who knows? Anyway, we're going to move on to the favourites table. We're starting off with Cotinus cogigria, but also known as magical torch, also known as the smoke bush.
It's known as a smoke bush because when it blooms, as you can see in the picture there, from a distance, it kind of looks like puffs of smoke.
It's so pretty.
It is, yeah.
It really is. When it's blooming like that, it's gorgeous.
It is. I mean, this is a remarkably tough, strong shrub. Basically, it will grow in very, very dry soils once it's established. So it will take summer drought. It will grow in clay soils or sandy soils. It will get through any winter temperature. -15, -20, -25 is not going to bother it. But what this particular variety has, it has this wonderful plum kind of coloured foliage, deep kind of, plum port kind of coloured leaves. And then in the summertime, you get these lovely sort of puffy heads of flower.
It is amazing.
It is, yeah.
There's one that grows around the corner from where I live, and honestly, I purposely, when it's in bloom, drive past it. I'll take a slight detour just so I can drive past it.
And these can get quite substantial, these shrubs. I mean, you've got options with these as well because they will actually grow like a metre or a couple of metres in one season. So you can let them grow into quite a large shrub if you prefer. Or if you want to, in the springtime, you can be really brutal with them and cut them down really, really low, and they'll reshoot for you and kind of form a real dense kind of shrub as well. So, you can do either or on these, but you'll be just blown away by this because you've got the incredible foliage, you've got those lovely dark purple stems, and these are almost like, if you know astilbes, they're almost like sort of astilbe type flowers on the end of these stems that against a blue sky on a summer's day really look impressive. So if you want 3 of these to kind of create a focal point in the middle of, say, a front garden or a lawn, or put these towards the back of a border, they look really good at the back of a border because then you can contrast other foliage against the dark foliage of these. Perhaps put some choisias in front or some Japanese laurels or something like that to get that sort of contrast of foliage colour. But they're tough, they're hardy, they'll grow in any soil, full sun, part shade. If you wanted to, you could grow them in a pot or a container, but as I say, very, very easy and straightforward to grow. And you've got 3, I'll whip one out.
Yeah, I just took this one out.
Because it's probably got a dark root on it. Actually, it's a dark root, so you can't actually see it, but it's got a nice solid root going on there. And these will come into leaf for you probably about the end of April into May. And even this year, I wouldn't be surprised if these grow like a couple of 2 or 3 foot even by the end of this summer.
Yeah, they're beautiful. You're going to get 3 of them. You are saving £10 on that particular order if you use your code. So it's £16.97 for all 3 of those. 511550 is the item number. We are getting questions coming in. Mauricia, what's Mauricia asking? Hang on. Does the magical torch lose its leaves in the winter, please?
It does, yes.
It is a deciduous one.
Yeah, it is a deciduous plant. So it loses its leaves quite late, to be fair. I mean, sometimes not till November. But yeah, in the winter time, it will lose its leaves. But it does have quite an attractive sort of branch structure through the winter. But then next spring, it will come back into leaf and give you that glorious flower colour.
There you go. OK, so any more questions, put them in the chat. We will do our best to answer all of those for you. Millie, if you've not received your vouchers yet, just get in touch with our customer services and they will be able to have a look into it for you. I think they're now loaded against your account. So I think if you log into your account, you should be able to find them in there. But our customer services team will always be able to help you with that. And Gillian's just saying, just think how long you can disappear for without anyone finding you. Talking about Sean's greenhouse. Yeah, I think it's probably one of his favourite places in his whole, house garden. It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a greenhouse. It's not kind of as grand as Sean's one, but I love it because
I
close the door. Yeah, and on a kind of a cold winter's day when the air's really cold outside, but you get the blue sky, it could be 20 degrees
really nice
warmer
warm,
inside. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. All right, we are going to move on to the next item on our favourites table. We have got Crocosmia for you. Got something brand new though, because we normally bring you Crocosmia lucifer. This one is called the Firestars Hotspot.
And you can see the hot spot in the middle there because it's got that lovely little red hot spot in the middle of the flower. And by the way, if you've already sort of bought the Catinus, these would also look really good in front of the Catinus because these beautiful kind of yellow flowers with the red centre would contrast beautifully with the foliage of the smoke bush. Just a thought if you want to do that. But Crocosmias, very easy to grow in the UK. They originate from South Africa, but they grow so well in the UK, and we grow dozens and dozens of varieties and species of these. All they ask of you, Crocosmia, is a sunny spot and well drained, and that's about it. And what will happen with these is year on year they'll gradually clump up and you'll get more and more and more of these, and eventually you can lift and divide them and you create more separate clumps that you can move around the garden. The flower stems come up late summer into autumn, which is nice as well because sometimes that late autumn period can be when a lot of perennials and bulbs have finished, but that's when they decide to flower. And they can get anything from a sort of 1/2 metre to 1.5 metres tall, depending on where they are in the garden. But they're a very, very hardy bulb. In fact, in some parts of the UK, not this variety, but in some parts of the UK, they've actually escaped into the wild. If you go to places like Ireland, Wales, down to Devon and Cornwall, areas like that, you quite often see Crocosmia, what we used to call Montbretia grain wild, in the hedgerows and along the ditches and places like that. So they do very well in the UK. So if you want a bulb, or it's a corm strictly, that is going to flower late summer with tall, elegant stems, dozens of flowers on each stem with that beautiful red centre, and they open out over sort of 4 to 5 weeks. Plant
45 weeks?
45 weeks, absolutely, Bex. 45 weeks of flowering on these, which is amazing.
4 to 5.
Yeah, about 4 to 5 weeks. The leaves are nice as well, these great big sort of upright sword-shaped leaves. You could plant these in the middle of the border because they're about that kind of height, or if you want to, grow them in pots and containers. 580110 849. You'll get 5 bulbs, but I don't think that's not many because honestly they do multiply over the years, so they're quite good at multiplying. Don't panic about that. £3 saving on there using your code. And now we've got 2 roses coming up for you next. It's sort of a similar story behind both of them, just slightly different colour options we're talking about. First of all, we're starting with the Raspberry Ripple Bare Root Rose. Now this is a jumping gene rose. Yeah, which basically means, I mean, in human beings or animals, a jumping gene's not a good thing. You don't want one of those. But kind of in plants, what it actually means is the plant produces flowers that are eternally changing. So every flower on this will be unique. I mean, you can see here, I mean, both the orange and the red ones, you'll get a different distribution of colour on every single flower. Some will be a bit more red, some will be more white, sometimes there's more white flecks, sometimes there's more red flecks, but you get this kind of gorgeous effect on these. It's an easy rose to grow. All our roses generally only get to about 90 centimetres to a metre tall, so they're nice and compact. This will repeat flower for you all the way through the summer. Probably going to start flowering the end of May, especially if we have a summer like we did in 2025, yeah. And then repeat flower. Well, do you know, we've seen roses on the nursery still even braving weather in October and November, putting out the odd flower bud. So
mine do.
Yeah, I mean, roses are flowering later and later in recent years as the kind of climate warms up a bit. Nice, healthy foliage as well. But as with all our roses, we bring you roses that are compact enough to grow in the ground. But of course, if you've got limited space, or you haven't even got like a garden, just a balcony or a rooftop or something like that, you can definitely grow this rose in a container as well.
I mean, if you've got the abracadabra rose, which has those lovely burgundy and yellow coloured flowers, and then you were to get the raspberry ripple and the oranges and lemons, I mean, I think that would be... I mean, it'd be a riot of colour, but I think that would look pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, I mean, they are beautiful.
I just like the idea of, like, every single flower is always unique. I mean, every time a bud opens, you never know kind of what colour distribution you're going to get on that flower.
Yeah, sometimes they can be, I mean, if you're looking at the raspberry ripple, they could be way more raspberry and way less ripple, or vice versa. Or you could get the wonderful mixture of the two colours, like you're seeing in the pictures here. And that's what makes them so very unique. It's only £11.04, remember. With a bare root plant, you are spending less money than you would with a potted plant. Later on in the season, we will be bringing them to you as potted plants, but you'll be paying $24.99, $19.99, maybe even $29.99, depending on what kind of offers we have. Whereas right now you can get it for £11.04. Very simple and easy to plant a bare root. I mean, there is only one extra process with planting a bare root than planting a potted plant.
That's it. Just make sure the little knuckly bit, or the union here, make sure that's at least 1 inch to 2 inches below soil level. And in fact, we're going to show a little VT later on, a little video of me demoing how to plant a bare root rose.
OK, let's move on, shall we? So we had the raspberry ripple. We have now moved on to the oranges and lemons, 530249. Very similar story, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same story. Again, this has got that jumping gene, and you can see just on that picture there how unique this are. I mean, that particular rose, just to the left there, has got that, or to the right now, has got that kind of really solid orange bits on the petals. Then you move up, and some of them have got kind of more yellow with just little orange flecks. So that's the joy of these roses with the jumping gene. I mean, I adore all roses. I mean, if you buy a Blue Moon rose, you know every single rosebud that opens is always going to be that exact colour, that exact shape, which is joyful because you adore that rose. But if you want a rose that's going to give you a surprise every time, you never know kind of what's going to happen from 1 month to another, 1 year to another, then go for these. I mean, so we've got the two options. You've got, you've got the oranges and lemons there, or the raspberry ripple, or go for both. I mean, they're both in the sort of same colour spectrum, so they would work really beautifully together. And then just another little suggestion for you. I mean, I think that crocosmia could work quite nice with these two roses. Well, I'm seeing these three colours together, and I'm quite liking that look. I think that could
like
work
the riot of colour. I'm a big fan of it. OK, so that's the roses and lemons. The oranges and lemons of the rose. 530249 is the item number. £11.04 is your price. Remember to get your bare roots planted as soon as possible after receiving them. For Skylar, who wasn't able to plant her bare root roses straight away due to the snow, will it still be OK? Potentially, yes, as long as those roots haven't completely dried out. So you can, as long as you keep the roots kind of moist, you can leave them a few days, even a week or two, as long as those roots are moist. But our official advice is you must try and get them planted as soon as possible after receiving, even if it's just a temporary plant, in a pot somewhere, and then you can plant them out where you really want them later on. Just get them planted as soon as you can. Yeah,
and make sure you finally, even if you potted them on temporarily, make sure they are finally where they need to be by about the end of March. Don't leave it any later than that.
All right, moving on then, we have got some seed potatoes for you, and we've got a stonking variety here. I flipping love a Maris Piper.
Yeah, well, the good thing about Maris Piper, Bex, it is so versatile, isn't it? It's one of those sort of potatoes that's got quite a dry, kind of starchy character to it, and that makes it absolutely fabulous for crispiness. So if you're making chips, if you're making roast potatoes, if you're doing, what's those things? Is it Hasselback?
Hasselback.
I was going to say Hasselhoff. That's something else. If you're making Hasselhoff potatoes,
yeah.
all those sort of potatoes, this variety will crisp up really well for you, and it's what we call an early main crop variety. So main crop potatoes are the ones that come towards the back end of the season after your first and second earlies, but this is one of the earliest of the main crops to actually come to fruition and be able for you to harvest. You can grow this in the ground, or of course, we bring you the 30-litre pots you can grow these in, or there's the grow bags as well, the polypropylene grow bags. But if you want to grow a variety of potato that has been around for donkey's years, that is trusted, that is loved, that is easy to grow and will give you the most super crunchy, crispy chips, the most desirable roast potatoes. You know those roast potatoes that have got that really golden crispness on the outside with the really crunchy corners?
Yes, please.
And then you hear that kind of crack as you split the potato open, and then in the middle you've got that white, steamy, fluffy potato. Yeah, these are what will give you those roast potatoes. You can get them home now. You can start chitting them probably February time, mid-Feb to early March. But if you get them home now, keep them somewhere cool, dark, dry and ventilated. Make sure rodents and stuff can't get to them. They'll store quite happily for a number of weeks still, and then you can start chitting them. That basically means get yourself some egg boxes, look at the seed potato itself, and where you see little tiny eyes on one end or other of the potato, make sure that's the end you've got facing upwards. Put them on a nice bright windowsill and let those little buds grow to about a couple of inches or so tall before you plant them, and that way you give yourself a really head start, and you're going to be enjoying those potatoes kind of probably mid to late summer. If you're going to grow them in 30-litre pots, use our professional compost. Absolutely ideal for growing potatoes in. They'll thrive in this. I know that because I grew potatoes in pots for the first time ever last year. I grew rocket in our 30-litre pots, and I had some really good results back. So I was dead chuffed. And basically, you kind of know when the potatoes are ready, because once they're flowered and the foliage starts to go yellow, then you can take the foliage away, but you don't have to harvest immediately. If you want to, if they're in bags or pots, just put them somewhere dry and cool, and you can just leave them in that compost until you're ready to harvest them. But if you can't wait, just empty the bag or the pot out and just harvest those really gorgeous, stunning potatoes and enjoy, as I say, the most crispy chips and the most crispy, crunchy roast potatoes with those gorgeous, fluffy middles.
OK, so that's a 2.5 kilogram bag you're getting. You are going to save £3 on there. That's quite a few potatoes, in actual fact. And it's only £8.49. You have to get seed potatoes. Please don't try and grow these from shop-bought ones. They are sprayed with sprout inhibitors and various different things. It's no good. You need proper seed potatoes, and that's what these are. 350078, the item number 849. We talked about the compost. This is the best growing medium for those potatoes. Yeah, potatoes adore this. And Bex and I know, because we're both, as I say, I grew them last year for 30-litre pots. I know Bex has grown with her children. Yeah, a few years ago now. It's great. Yeah, and this compost is great. Spuds will enjoy this particularly because this compost holds onto the moisture really, really well, and potatoes are thirsty plants. There's a wetting agent in this, which means every time you water this, the moisture soaks into the compost really, really quickly. It doesn't run straight through and out the bottom, taking all the water and nutrients with it. It's peat reduced, and it's always been peat reduced, and even some of the little bit of peat we use, part of that is from recyclable sources using sphagnum moss. There's a slow release fertiliser in this compost as well, which can feed your plants for up to 6 months, which again, some fertilisers are over really, really quick, like those fizzy drinks, can be a big woof of energy and then nothing. But with these, you get that consistent feed, and we've got the composted wood fibre, so that keeps the compost nice and open and airy. It allows those potatoes to send out their stems, start to produce those beautiful tubers. And honestly, I cannot recommend a compost more highly for growing potatoes in, as well as pretty much everything else, than this compost. And it's our most 5-star rated, reviewed, revered, and I have probably used well in excess of 1,000 bags of this over the years, not just in my own garden, but it's the sort of compost, or it is the compost that I like to use in my customers' gardens as well. 100125, it is the two 50-litre bags, so you're getting the 100 litres here for £21.23. It's my compost of choice. I know, regulars, it's your compost of choice as well, but if you are brand new new to watching us at the moment, please make sure you get the best compost. Don't just buy the cheap rubbish. It does make a difference. Right, Marissa was asking, what is the latest you can get potatoes in the pots? It depends on the variety and the cropping time, doesn't it?
What, to harvest?
Yeah.
Or to,
what's the latest time you can plant them?
Take a chance. I mean, I could right up... Oh, a bit strange.
That's right, I kicked the tree.
Oh, let's go. I would say even right up to March, even middle of April, you can still put potatoes in. Because sometimes what people do these days is put them in quite late to actually get new potatoes for Christmas.
Yeah.
So you could do it right up till then, honestly.
You can. I mean, it depends on the variety. I mean, approximately, 12 to 16 weeks after planting, approximately, is when you would be harvesting the potatoes. And they just need to be kept frost-free.
Sorry, Bex, go on.
No, go on.
And I was going to say, and of course, when you plant them a little bit later in the season, by then the days are really long, the temperature's gone up, so you don't even really need to think about chitting them at that stage because the ground will all be so warm, they're just going to zoom up really, really quickly.
I might grow some potatoes this year.
Yeah, go for it.
Neil, hello and goodbye. Bless him, because we do these shows on a Thursday afternoon. He's not allowed to watch at work. He pops in to say hello and then he watches it later on. So for later on when you're watching, Neil, hi. Right, we want to just give you a quick reminder of some of the items you've seen. We've still got loads of plants to show you. We're here till 4 o'clock. Oh, my word, we've done half an hour already. Let's get moving. 511538 is the item number for the Portuguese Laurel Standard. If you want evergreen, tough, resilient, hardy, quite pest and disease resistant plant, then Portuguese laurel is a really, really good one for you. Around May, June time is when you'll have these gorgeous fragrant flowers on here. A pollinator paradise, £10 saving, and this one has been grown as the standard. I know we know laurel as being quite, more of a hedging plant, and it's a fantastic hedging plant, but think about why we have it as a hedging plant. Because it's evergreen, because it's tough, because it's easy, because it's low maintenance. Why not have it as the standard for all of those same reasons? 511538 is the item number if you'd like to go for that. I would recommend a pair. I think either side of your gateway or something like that would look amazing. Next up we had the Cotinus cagigria, the magical torch, or the smoke bush. Another tough, resilient plant. Can get big. Of course you can prune it a little bit as well, obviously, and keep it a bit smaller. And it's quite a vigorous growing plant, Adam was telling us. It can grow quite quickly. So if you are looking to fill corners of the garden and you don't want to be too patient, then Cotinus is a really good one. Absolutely stonking when it's in full bloom like this. Known as the smoke bush because it looks like puffy clouds of pink smoke just kind of rising up out of the darker foliage there. Gorgeous plant. £16.97. You will get 3 of those 9cm pots as well, so that's a really good price there. And remember, it is free postage as long as you're using that offer code YGTV0326. Next up, we had the Crocosmia, a brand new one to the potting shed. We know Crocosmia, don't we? It's known as, it's called Montbretia, but this one is called Firestar's Hot Spot, and it has got that lovely sort of hot little spot in the centre there, that kind of orangey red throat to the flowers, but bright yellow. The flowers open along the length of the stem there as well, which is really beautiful, which kind of extends the flowering season. Strappy leaves you get, and it will multiply. So you're getting 5 bulbs to start with, but over the years this will multiply through your garden. Very tropical looking flowers. Am I right? It's a South African native.
Yeah, that's it, Bex,
isn't it?
South Africa.
South African native, this one, but don't let that worry you. They are tough and hardy, so they can be grown here. 580110 is the item number. Next up, we've got our Jumping Gene roses for you. We've got the Raspberry Ripple Papageno here, £7 saving, so £11.04 is your discount club price. It is a floribunda, so you get clusters of those bi-coloured rose flowers, but the unique thing here is that every rose will be completely individual and different. 530250 for that one, or if you want the oranges and lemons, it's 530249. I think they work well together, but it just depends on the colour scheme you've got in your garden. Next up, we had those potatoes. So we got the Maris Pipers 2.5 kilogram bag, seed potatoes. Very important you get seed potatoes if you want the best crops of potatoes. If you try and grow them from supermarket potatoes, unfortunately, your crops won't be that good at all. Those potatoes from the supermarkets are sprayed with sprout inhibitors. And obviously, when we're buying potatoes, we don't want those sprouts, but you want these to sprout because that's where your growth comes from. 2.5 kilogram bag, best potato. Honestly, Maris Piper is a well-known variety and one of the best varieties. Quite a versatile one. You can use it for so many different things. Now, you can grow your potatoes in pots. I grew them in the bags, but they will as easily be grown in heavy-duty pots. So if you are limited on space, you don't have an allotment, you don't have a massive garden, you can grow these in pots and containers, and the heavy duties are perfect for it. They're obviously very versatile, can be used for so many different things in the garden, mainly as a plant pot, but of course you can use them for lots of other things as well. Stacking your bamboo canes in, storing all of your gardening equipment. You could use it to put some cushions in, kids' toys, dogs' toys. Simon, who hasn't been in the chat for a while, I hope he's okay, he uses one as a laundry basket. Temporary home for plants. I mean, Sean's euonymus is still in that pot apparently and has been for many years. At some point he'll work out where he's putting it. I've been using these all year. Well, yeah, a year now. We put our house on the market a year ago. Still haven't sold, still haven't moved. But I've been growing everything in pots and containers, ready for when we do eventually move, and I can take all those plants with me. It's great for deadheading and cutting and things like that. So, look, you get the idea. 130011 is the item number. You will get 4 of them. Add to your collection. It'll only be $16.97 and no postage to pay. So you've got your potatoes, you've got your pots. How about some compost to grow your potatoes in? This is the premium professional compost, 100 litres, because you're going to get 2 50-litre bags here. 100125, the best compost you will ever use. It is our 5-star rated product. It is, I mean, honestly, we sell more of this compost than anything else that we sell, and we've been in business for over 20 years. We get so many repeat customers, and when somebody comes back and buys something a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, you know it's good, don't you? Because if it's no good, you won't come back and buy it again. But so many people come back time and time again. Read the reviews, please. Have a little look. I can, and Adam, we can both stand here and wax lyrical about how good that compost is. But at the end of the day, it's our job to stand here and tell you it's good. We don't lie, we do tell the truth. But if you want it from real people, go and read those reviews. I would urge you to do that.
Just ask anyone else in the chat who's used this. I've never come across anybody who's bad-mouthed this compost.
Yeah.
Every time people say you just get the most amazing results. And the thing I find most about it is, if there was one thing I'd really say about it, it stimulates root growth like no other compost I've ever used.
So important. All right, we've got another table of plants to show you. We're starting off with a grow your own, and we are starting off with the best variety of fig to grow in the UK. It's the brown turkey. Yeah, we're getting figgy with it. And this is really good, this one. Brown turkey, I mean, there are other sort of types out there, but probably 95% of the fig trees grown in the UK will be brown turkey because they adapt and grow very well in our kind of British environment. They've been bred for the environment we have. And again, I mean, I've been self-employed 40 odd years now. You don't look old enough. I know. I don't look a day over 40, do I? No. And I've seen hundreds of these figs in all sorts of different people's gardens. And I can actually memorise a couple of occasions when I've seen my customers going out and picking their own figs in their garden. And if you want to pick your own, what you need to do is grow this fig in a really sunny position. That's where they're really happy. They kind of originate from places like Iran, although sensitive name to mention in a minute, but that kind of part of the world, sort of what you used to call Persia and that neck of the woods. That's where they, Turkey, all those areas, hence brown turkey, the name of this. But they grow very well in the UK. So if you can find a lovely, hot, sunny shelter position for this, and you can grow them in pots or containers, and they do particularly well in pots because if you constrict the roots, it kind of stresses the plant a little bit, and they tend to produce more fruit if pot grown than they do leaves. But if you're going to grow them in the garden, grow them up against a south or west facing wall or the end of a barn or a shed or a garage or somewhere, and when you plant them, don't be frightened about constricting the roots a little bit. Perhaps put some old house bricks or paving stones or anything around the root just to kind of restrict the root, and they will grow, they will thrive. Again, from my own experience, I've seen figs get through all the winters that I've worked through over the last 40 years. Sometimes after a really extreme winter, some of the stems might get knocked back a little bit on the end, but they always regrow. And you will get gorgeous size, super juicy, sweet figs from mid to late summer into autumn. And even if the figs aren't your kind of main goal on this and you want something ornamental, the leaves are great as well. And that's why I've got a fig tree, to be honest with with you. I mean, if I get some figs, great. But I've actually grown it because I think it is, you know, gorgeous. I even think even when it's, you know, deciduous, dropped its leaves in winter, I think the bare branches can be quite interesting, particularly on a mature plant as well. So I'm really excited about this. I'm also excited about World Naked Gardening Day. Does everybody know Naked Gardening Day?
Oh, is that coming round again?
2nd of May. It's to promote body positivity. You might have seen it if you're a gardener. You see people get in the garden and they take naked pictures and la 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 la. I'm going to do it this year because I didn't do it last year. And hopefully I'm going to have fig leaves big enough to cover the bits that I need to cover.
I think Sean did it last year and he got blocked on social media
no,
for a
month.
month.
No, that was the year before.
Oh, was
it? Did, yeah. And it wasn't even a bad picture.
I know, it wasn't.
But anyway.
Oh, well, are you committing to that then, or like?
Yeah.
Oh, OK.
Yeah, I'm planning on using fig leaves.
You can always, like, stitch a few together.
I might need to.
Do you want to?
340029 is the item number if you'd like to go for the fig brown turkey. It comes in the 1.7 litre pot. You can see that it can fruit. This one has got some fruits on. I can't guarantee yours will come with fruits, but it has got a couple of fruits on there. So I'm just pointing it out because these have the potential to provide you fruits from an early stage. It's not like it's going to take ages to get in and established.
No, and the good thing about them as well is once the figs are above a certain size, they'll actually get through winter. And these figs that survive from one year to another, they will give you an earlier crop of figs the following year. And then later in the season, you'll get more figs as well.
Vicky, I've seen your question about agapanthus, so yes, we will come to that one for you in a sec, OK? We're going to move on to Nandina Obsessed for you. So, evergreen plant, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. If we do a show in here that doesn't involve a Nandina somewhere, we're in trouble, aren't we?
We are, yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's one of our favourite plants at YouGarden.
We are obsessed with them.
We are.
I mean, basically, but you can see why, because I always adore this picture where you've got the beautiful red foliage of the Nandina.
Yeah, with the festuca. It's beautiful.
It's green, you know, really deep red, really sort of deep blue. And this is kind of the earlier part of the season as well. So earlier part of the year, that's when you get the really good colour. But we're going to show a lovely little clip with you, aren't we, talking of these?
Yeah, me out on the nursery. And here on the nursery, we have just taken in another large delivery of one of our absolute favourites. This is the Nandina Obsessed. There are so many reasons why this is the perfect plant and why you want one in your garden. Nandinas genuinely are one of our absolute favourites here at YouGarden, and it's because it is the perfect plant. You can plant this anywhere in the country because it can cope with cold weather and it can cope with hot weather. You can plant it anywhere in your garden because it loves sunshine, but it can cope in shady spots. You can put it in the ground or it can grow in containers. It's very low maintenance as well. Once you've planted it, you don't actually need to do much to it. It certainly doesn't need any kind of pruning, and it stays at a really reasonable size. It can grow to about 1 metre, 1.20 metre in height, needs about 60 centimetres spread, which makes it perfect for all gardens. It's such a simple and easy plant to grow and gives you glorious foliage colour all year round. This is an evergreen beauty, but you'll get this wonderful sort of red, golden, orange tones to it. Never drops its leaves, though. It's the perfect plant for every gardener, for every garden in every part of the country. It is perfect, honestly. I mean, so many of the Nandinas that we bring you are just, well, all of them, they are all perfect plants. They've just got mild and slight differences. This one will grow a little bit taller, 1.2 metres, than the...
We've got the firepower.
Firepower.
Yep.
I was going to say firecracker, and I knew that was wrong.
I called it firestorm the other week for some weird reason. Yeah, firepower.
It's a beautiful one. Plant it anywhere. Never needs pruning. Absolutely gorgeous. 510759, the item number. It's 11. Oh, it's £11 and 4 pence. That's a great price. Look at the size of that. 11.04, delivered price as well, no postage to pay on there. Let's go on, shall we? We're going to move on to our fabulous hellebores. Now, this is a pack of 6 plug plants, and you're going to get a beautiful mixture of colours included.
I've got these in my garden.
I've got these.
I have. I love them. There you go. See, I don't need to make them see how gorgeous the roots are. In fact, I will lift one out because look at that. I mean, these are absolutely just kind of gagging to get out into the garden. These can go straight out. You don't need to grow these on. You can plant these straight outside. And these are evergreen as well. So all the year through, even when they're not flowering, you've got the leaves. Look at that beautiful root system. Every
amazing,
one of these.
isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to, you could pop them on until spring and then sort of plant them out once they're established, or they can go straight in the ground now. I only put mine in about 5 or 6 weeks ago. The other night, my garden went down to -6.6. They didn't bat an eyelid. They were totally and utterly fine. But the most crazy thing about these that I always like to mention, it always makes me laugh, is that they choose now, this time of year, to produce these incredible flowers. If you've never done gardening before and you were looking at a picture of a plant like this, you would think to yourself, that's got to be May, June, July, August, those flowers. Surely you can't get a flower as delicate and as stunning, as beautiful as that to flower in January and February. You can. They've already started flowering. They started flowering a couple of weeks ago in some areas because it's so mild, and they start flowering roundabouts the same time as the snowdrops start to come out, and they are so versatile because they will grow in full sun, they'll grow in full shade, and they'll grow anywhere in between. You can grow them under trees, pots and containers, open ground, and they will give you the most amazing colour right in the depths of winter. I mean, isn't it? It's to me, it's so thrilling and exciting to think on these dullest of days, on the shortest of days, you can already have flowers that are this bright and beautiful and colourful. Mine aren't flowering yet because mine were only small plugs, but I know this time next year they will flower because they get established very, very quickly. And after a couple of years, they can seed about. They're quite promiscuous, by the way. They like to have a bit of hanky-panky with the bees, and then they produce seeds, and some of those seeds can be your own very unique hybrids that nobody else will have. But also, after a few years, you can lift and divide them, and one clump could make you half a dozen new separate plants. So these, a bit like the Nandina we're talking about, these are box tickers. They tick every box. They're hardy and they don't get any pests and diseases either.
No, they don't. And they love a slightly more shady spot in the garden as well, which I think is a very valuable reason to get hold of these. You know, it's easy to fill the sunny spots in the garden, not so easy to fill the shady spots. So the hellebores are fantastic for that. Hello to Hattie, who's managed to find us on YGTV. I will be on TikTok later, everybody, between 5 and 8 if you are one of the TikTokers. But it's lovely that you're coming over and watching us in both places. Thank you so much for that. We're going to move on. We have got some tulips to plant for you, and we're going to ask the question straight off the bat.
I know what you're going to say.
Is it too late to plant tulip bulbs?
Yes, ridiculously too late. Too late of any sense. Honestly, don't buy these. Time's gone. Not really, honestly.
It's not, is it?
No, it isn't. Funny enough, I can say the word on here because it's not the thing we're doing later. I Googled the other day, just out of interest, I thought I'd Google, is it too late to plant spring flowering bulbs? About half a dozen websites popped up, even some like the RHS, and every single one of them said, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Right up until the middle of January.
Look, it's better if you can get them in the ground a little bit earlier, of course. But yes, you should be fine right up till sort of mid-January.
Easily.
It's not a problem.
I mean, with these bulbs here, if I pick this pack of bulbs up.
Yeah.
Now, if I pick these bulbs up, if they were all soft and squidgy, I'd say, no, game over.
Late.
If they were all powdery and mildewy, I'd say game over. If they smelt naff, I'd say, but they don't. None of those things apply. So these are as viable now as they were when we first brought them in the autumn. You can see a little kind of tiny green shoot coming on one of those there. So they're already starting to grow. All that will happen is that these will flower probably a couple of weeks later than they would ordinarily if you planted them before Christmas. But seriously, if you're kicking yourself, because we all do it, don't we? We all say every year, and how many times have I said to Bex, I'm going to get one of those, Bex. I'm going to grow one of those. Do I? No, I don't. Time gets the better of me. If the same's happened to you with bulbs, if you're looking out in the garden now and you're thinking, I was so looking forward to having some tulips this year and daffodils and so on, but I didn't get them in time, take advantage now. It's not too late. Get these in and enjoy these remarkable tulips April, May time. You'll love them, and they can go in the open ground, but they also do fantastically well in containers. And all tulips want from you is a nice, warm, sunny, well-drained spot, and they'll come back for you year after year.
Look at those.
Isn't they good?
They're so pretty.
They're real aristocrats of the tulip world, aren't they, these ones?
I mean, those are stunning tulips. 600033 is the item number if you would like to go for those. It's a pack of 10 bulbs and it's £7.64. We do have some more bulbs available for you. Now, these are the Muscari album where you're going to get 30 bulbs, and these are white flowering ones.
These.
Now, when it comes to planting these ones, Do you think we'd still get flowers this year from these?
You will, yeah, because the thing is with bulbs, I mean, I always say when you plant a bulb, you plant a promise, because in the middle of every bulb, if you cut, especially if you buy good quality bulbs, if you buy really piddly little bulbs, you might not get flowers, you might get leaves, but because all our bulbs come to you a really good size, if you used to cut one of our bulbs in half, at the base of the bulb, you'd already see a little embryonic flower in the middle of that bulb. So when you get these home and plant them, you're going to get flowers on these in 2026. But then, from then on onwards, in following years, as they get really established, they really take off. And I've got the white muscari myself. This year was the second year that they flowered. Really, really nice. And what I found with the white muscari, and you can take this as a plus or a negative, but I've found that the white ones are slightly less kind of, I don't want to say invasive, but the white ones don't spread.
Don't spread as much.
Yeah, they don't spread quite as vigorously as the blue ones.
I always say about the muscari how I love the fact that they do spread quite vigorously, you know, and they tidy up after themselves. They're not a pest, they're not a nuisance, but they will fill the garden for you. But you're saying these don't spread quite as much?
No, they spread, but not as rapidly as the blue ones.
OK. Pack of 30 of those, £7.64 is the price, 600115 is the item number. And if you have not got the 300 bulbs, that is still available for you. So in here you're going to get the 7 different varieties. Beautiful colour and about, I reckon, about 4 or 5 months worth of flowers.
Yeah, easily. We normally say with this collection, the crocus, I think crocus is in this one, are the kind of earliest to flower. And then you've said, Bex, you've seen the drumstick alliums even in August.
Last year, it was early August, I saw drumstick alliums flowering. I mean, typically, normally it's June, July time, isn't it? But I definitely saw them into August last year.
So there you go. So, I mean, that is a really, really long flowering period. And if you wanted to, even now, you could lasagna plant these. So basically that means get yourself a nice big pot and just plant them all in different layers. And normally we suggest putting the biggest, chunkiest bulbs at the bottom and then layer up with the smallest ones at the top. That way, in one container, you can get all those different flowering bulbs flowering for you at different times.
OK, so 630050 is the item number. It's a good price. £17 saving on there. 1104 is the price for your 300 bulbs. Hello to Alistair, who says hi again, late again, but watching from the start. So he probably won't see this until he catches up. Hey, Alistair, you all right? OK, we are going to talk to you about our brand new Rose of the Week, which is the beautiful Sophie Rocas.
I'm going to go off on one. I'm going to go off on one with this rose, honestly.
Are you?
Oh wow, Bex! I mean, we've been bringing you Rose of the Week for ages, and
yes,
we have hundreds of varieties of roses, but this one. Oh my goodness me. I mean, the first thing you notice about it, look at the petals. How often?
I love that.
Yeah.
They look crimped,
don't
they?
Yeah, kind of those crimped, ruffled, almost it looks like that's made up, that rose, like it's sort of an AI kind of rose. But honestly, this is how the flowers look. And the foliage is super healthy, but it's another one of those roses, when you walk up to it, and you lower your nose into these blooms, you're not going to be disappointed because it smells as beautiful as it looks. It's one. Remember at school, there was always that annoying kid in your classroom. They were good looking, super intelligent, really good at sport. Everybody loved them. They were cool. They ticked all the boxes. This is what this rose will do. It has everything from a rose that you want. It's nice and compact. Again, only getting to about 90 centimetres tall. Very good disease resistance on the foliage as well. And look how healthy and bright and vivid and verdant that foliage looks on these roses. It will repeat flower for you all the way from probably late May into August, September, October, and it's a floribunda rose, so that means you get clusters of these incredible, stunningly beautiful, fragrant flowers on the end of each stem. You can cut those and bring them indoors, or you can enjoy them in the garden, and of course you can grow it in a container.
You can indeed.
I said I was going to go off on one, didn't I?
You did, and you did. 780319 is the item number. You've got a £5 saving on there, but remember that your discount club price takes that down a little bit further, so it will be £16.99. Use your code YGTV0326 is the code, and that's going to give you the saving and the free postage as well. Right, we're coming back over. I wanted to say hello to Dingo, who's joined in now as well. It says, hi everyone, I'm here now. I keep forgetting it's a 2 p.m. start. I'm sorry, I know we've moved it around, apologies, but yes, it's 2 p.m. on a Thursday, but of course you can watch it back any time you want to.
It looks like a monster with eyes.
He's looking at a picture of the Catinus. The YouTube feed has
With the little
stopped.
arrows in.
Right, moving on. Let's have a look, shall we? We have got comments, we've got questions, we've got emails. I'm just going to go here. No new ones coming through. Vicky, first of all. Hello, Bex and Adam. I've just received my
Vicky.
Agapanthus Poppin' Purple. Looks great. Is it okay to pot it up and put it outside next to a south-facing house wall, or will it need protection?
You could do that. The only thing I would suggest is if we can get some of those really extreme temperatures again, like we had last week, -5s, -6s, -7s, just for those cold nights, just put it somewhere where it's not going to freeze solid in the pot. But other than that, if it's just going to be a -1, -2, it's up against the house, it'll be absolutely fine.
They're resilient down to about -5 once established. So south-facing wall next to the house. I mean, you are in West Yorkshire, so I know it gets a bit cold up there, but just keep an eye on the weather. I've moved mine inside when we had the serious minus temperatures.
Yeah, because it's only a young plant. Basically, you don't want the pot to freeze. If it's just a little tiny bit of frost on the top of the compost, it's fine. But what you don't want is like a rock-solid lump of frozen compost with the root in the middle. Gillian's
been in touch. She says, so nice to see you all. So I have to confess I haven't been out in the garden recently, but thought I'd show you my balloon arch. Gillian, I think you were making this balloon arch, weren't you? For your, I want to say it was your daughter's birthday. Was it the 20? Oh, I'm trying to go into my memory here. I think you were making it for your daughter's birthday anyway. So she sent us a picture of the balloon arch and it is looking absolutely fabulous. Look at that.
Whoa, that's a lot of work.
That's so good though. Well done you.
I like that lamp, by the way. That's nice. I like your lamp.
See, we're just nosy. We like looking at everything. I've had to send everything to my phone because this one isn't working. So next up is Ali G. She says, afternoon all. A few photos of things looking good in our garden at the moment. Photos taken yesterday afternoon. I'm hoping to be home in time for your show so that I can watch you on the big telly. So she sent us a few pictures. First off, we are starting with hellebores. Gorgeous. Look at that.
That's what I mean. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, we've just had, say, some areas -12 last week, really extreme temperatures. But that's the time of year that these plants decide to flower, and I'm glad they do, because they really lift your mood at a time of year when we need blooms.
Everyone's waiting for the sarcococca to actually do its thing, aren't they? And there it is. Look, you can see all those flower buds turning pink very soon, everybody. I'd say in the next week or so. Mine are normally the end of January. That's when they open up and they smell amazing.
It's been like waiting for a pot to boil.
I know.
Looking at mine when in the garden.
The thing is, the flowers are there for ages as well. They've been forming since the beginning of December.
Yeah. It's like, come on, open up.
Are these more hellebores?
Little purple one there.
I think they are, aren't they?
I've got a little purple flower emerging.
I love their little nodding heads. They are so pretty.
Now I've got to combat this comment that was just in my ear. See, Matt said he went to Anglesey Abbey and wasted his day because the Sarcococca hookeriana weren't flowering, but they also have Sarcococca confusa, called Christmas box, which is flowering now. But Matt didn't realise that was the one he was smelling, not the other one.
Because he's an gardenist.
Well, he is.
He's learning.
Yeah. So just in case you think I've been fibbing for my whole life about Anglesey Abbey, that's the reason.
All right, thank you so much. Those are the emails that we've received so far. If you do want to send any more, the email address is ygtv@yougarden.com. So if you want to show off your garden or you've got any questions to ask, you can email us there. But of course, you can still put it into the chat on YouTube and on Facebook as well. Suzanne says, lost count of the amount of compost I've bought. It's amazing stuff. Bought half-dead plants back to life. Alice, I am not texting. I've had to email to my phone to be able to connect it to the telly because it's not working, so I've had to do it that way. I'm not texting, I promise.
You're very technical, aren't you? I wish I was as technical as you. You're very good.
And Linda, hello Linda, she's just commented saying, hi all, my delivery driver has just arrived and my hallway is full of YouGarden packages. She's got hostas, raspberry canes and the 30-litre pots. Busy time. Yes, I'm so pleased to hear that. And talking of raspberries, we have got the premium raspberries. These are the Autumn Bliss. Now you're going to get 10 canes here. A lot of you are going to be saying, but hang on a minute, you've been telling us recently that we need to go for the long canes and these are short canes. But
there's a good reason for that. Now, the long cane one, the Glen Ample we've been talking about, that you see this tall, they are summer fruiting raspberries, and they are going to fruit this year because they're fruiting on the wood that they developed last year. That's why we're bringing you the long canes. These ones, we've chopped the tops off And these will also fruit for you this year. But the reason they will is because these are going to fruit for you in the autumn. But that means because they flower in the autumn, they've had a long season for the wood to mature. So even though they've been chopped down, the new shoots that come up, and plus some of these little lower ones as well, will potentially give you fruit this year, even in the first year. And Autumn Bliss is great. So if you've already bought the Glen Ample, and you want to extend that fruiting season, get yourself Autumn Bliss, because then you're going to really extend raspberry production probably over 3 or 4 months.
Definitely. Can I plant these as, like the wigwam shape in the pots?
I honestly don't see why not. You could, yeah. Just do the same thing as you do with the summer fruiting ones. So get yourself a nice big pot, do the wigwam, or of course if you've got an allotment or a kitchen garden, you can do the post and wire thing if you want to do that as well. But yeah, so that's why we're bringing you these ones kind of a little bit chopped down, because these are autumn fruiting ones. So you can still get fruit on these, whereas if we chop the summer ones down, you wouldn't. But a very, very loved, very, very established, long kind of heritage variety, this one, to be honest, Autumn Bliss.
No, 330055, that's a nice item number. £11.03 is the price. As a club member, you're going to be paying for those, so it's £1.10 thereabouts per cane. And just imagine how many fruits you're going to be picking from those. They are rooty as well. Look at those.
They are. They're right, rooty beauties,
They're pretty awesome, aren't they?
Yeah.
So raring to grow. Get them, add them into your basket. Alice has just informed us that she's going to be getting an allotment.
Hey!
Congratulations to you. Maybe raspberry canes are what you should be growing there. And Gillian says, yes, thanks, Bex. That was my daughter's 21st birthday. I thought it was, but I couldn't quite remember. And she said, I knew you'd like that birch tree light, Adam.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I want that.
All right, those are your raspberry canes. We're going to move on now. We're going to talk to you about cherry blossom. Okay, so not a cherry tree, not one that's going to be a grow your own, not one that's going to grow fruit, but one that is going to grow the most amazing blossom.
I think when you drive round in spring and you see cherry trees, there's certain cherry trees you drive past and they almost stop you in your tracks and you go, oh my goodness me, that cherry blossom tree, that is mind-blowing. That is spectacular. Chances are it's going to be Kanzan. This is probably one of the most impressive, there you go, ornamental, don't know what the smudgy bit is, one of the most impressive ornamental cherry trees you could possibly grow in your garden. Pretty much before the leaves come out, the whole tree is smothered in these soft kind of shell pink double flowers. And this, not this year, but last year in particular, because we had such a beautiful, warm, dry spring, they stayed looking like this for about a couple of weeks. And they were, they are just so joyful. And it's one of those sort of trees that it has a nice kind of rounded crown to it, a bit like kind of cauliflower shaped, if you like. So if you want a kind of the most stunning cherry blossom that you could possibly grow, that every year is just going to blow your socks off, get a Kanzan. They are just absolutely perfect.
It's kind of the traditional, most widely grown variety, Kanzan, that you'll see. I mean, there's loads of them around where I live, and people have got them planted outside their houses and things. A lot of people ask, how close can I plant it to the house as well, as far as invasive roots and things like that are concerned? I see loads of them growing around people's houses. Yeah,
because they don't get into a huge, great big tree. They're not like a fruiting cherry tree that can get really massive. So these get to a certain height, and then they pretty much sort of taper off. But even the new leaves that come through, they look great because they come through a lovely kind of dark orangey coppery colour, and then as the blooms fade, the leaves then turn to a beautiful green, and you can get little tiny cherries on there, but they're ornamental, they're not edible. But basically, again, I mean, if you're one of these people that drives around every spring and you're always so jealous, we say it about the magnolias, if you're always so jealous of seeing cherry blossom in everybody else's garden and you keep kicking yourself because you haven't got one, get one of these, because you're going to love it.
It will blossom this year as well. Obviously, it's going to get bigger and better over the years, but you will get some blossom on this year. 500027. Mauricia says, I must get this cherry tree, the best of the best. It really is. It's £21.24. It's a bare root. We're going to play a video soon of bare root planting. It's on roses, but essentially the rules are the same with all kinds of bare roots. We are going to remind you of a few things that you have seen so far. Adam's going to change the table over so we can show you some more things very soon as well. We're here for another 55 minutes thereabouts, so lots and lots of items to show you. Fig brown turkey was one of the items, 340029 the item number. It's the 1.7 litre pot that we are bringing you here, so nicely established, a really hardy, tough variety to grow in the UK. Simple, easy, just keep those roots restricted. £11.04 is your discount club price on there. Free postage as long as you use the code. Nandina Obsessed. Now, this is a beautiful plant. You can get some really bright red leaves on here. Normally right up at the top of the plant. It looks awesome as a combination planting, like you're seeing here, against the lush verdant green in the background, or that festuca bluegrass in the front there. It's an evergreen plant. It's totally hardy, never needs pruning, stays nice and compact, can be planted in sun, could be planted in a more shady spot, will grow anywhere in the UK. It ticks every single box you could want it to tick. 510759 the item number. We've also got hellebores for you, and you will be seeing lots of hellebores flowering at the moment. These choose now to flower. Between January, February and March, they are absolutely amazing. They multiply and will create their own little hybrids in your garden, and you're getting 6 plug plants, but in a few years' time you'll have way more than 6 plants. Each one will grow to about 30 by 30 centimetres, but as I said, will multiply as well. 480961 the item number, a £5 saving, £12.73 your discount club price. The rose of the week is the beautiful Sophie Rockhouse. Now, it is a potted rose. I know we bring in you bare roots a lot at the moment. We're in bare root planting season, but this is one that is potted. So £16.99. You should be paying, I mean, the RRP on this is £24.99, but as a discount club member with the saving, you'll get it for £16.99. And of course, normally that would have a £6.99 postage. But again, because you're watching YGTV and you're using that offer code, you will get that free postage. A beautiful Floribunda, baby pink colour, lovely crimped and ruffled edges on there. Stunning rose. Next up we have, some more roses. We've got the oranges and lemons. This is the Jumping Jean rose. This one is a bare root, so you're paying less. £11.04 is the price. The only thing you need to do extra really is to soak those bare roots before planting, but you can get them out and you can get them planted now. It'll grow to approximately 90 by 60 centimetres, 3 feet by a couple of feet, and can be container grown as well. We've also got the raspberry ripple, so staying on that theme of the bi-colour and the jumping jean, but of course this has the raspberry ripple colouring to it. 530250 1104 is your discount club price on that one as well. Now, we've talked a little bit about how to plant bare roots. It's nice and simple, easy to do, and here is our award-winning gardener, Adam the Woolcott, to show you exactly how.
We sell a vast array of bare root roses here at YouGarden. We've got climbers, we've got hybrid teas, we've got floribundas. But why would I plant a bare root rose? Well, it's a fantastically economic way of planting a rose. It's great for the environment as well because there's no pots or compost. So how do I plant a bare root? Well, critically, the most important thing is this little bit here called the union, or what we call the knuckly bit, needs to be at least 1 inch to 2 inches below the final soil level. This is where grafting has taken place. It's a process called budding, and it's joining 2 different roses together. The top part is called the scion, the bottom part is called the rootstock. They've been brought together to create a really vigorous rose, but that's also compact and not going to get too big for you, meaning you can grow them in pots or in the ground, and whichever way you plant them, in the ground or in a pot, it's the same process. We're using our professional compost. We've filled this pot up about halfway and just dropped the root in to see how it fits, because you want to make sure the final soil level is about 1 inch below the top of the pot so you can water nicely at the end and it doesn't cascade over the top. But you want to make sure, as I said, this knuckly bit is below the soil level. So I'm just going to lean it to the side, wear a pair of gloves as well, because obviously roses can be a bit thorny, and then just go round and top that rose up with the professional compost. You can lift it up to centre it, and if you ever get any really, really big roots that stop you from planting the rose dead centre, the really big chunky roots, you can trim those back a little bit if you need to, because it's nice to have the rose nicely centred in the middle of the container. And we're just going to keep adding the compost, filling it up. At some point, you may just want to firm that compost down a little bit. Just make sure
knock all the air and stuff out of it. We're going to do some more scoops, bring it right up, cover that union bit under the compost. And the good thing about that as well, it means the rose will grow away very, very well. It will become established. It will stop it rocking about in the wind in the wintertime, which is important, because just imagine if this rose is blowing about in the wind and the root isn't stable in the ground, it could snap the roots, it could damage the roots, and that's not going to be good for the health of the rose itself. Also, it prevents suckers growing from the rootstock area. So I'm going to just tap this down now, pushing the compost down nicely. I always like to give my pots a little tap either side, and I'm just going to top off with a little bit more compost round the top. Again, tap it so it's nicely even. I've now got that union bit a couple of inches below the soil level. I'll give this a really, really good soak. If the compost drops down a little bit more, I'll just top it up again. All you've got to do now is just wait till the spring, wait for the magic to happen, and enjoy your beautiful rose flowers the following year. If you'd like this gorgeous pot, or any of our pots, for example, or this rose, and we've got a huge range of roses, or some of our professional compost, it's all available for you here at YouGarden.
So it's very, very simple to do. Those rules kind of go along with everything. It's just if it's a grafted one, make sure the graft point is above the soil surface. But the rules are very much the same. It applies to all of them. And it will also apply to your rose patio standards too, which I planted. I've done it twice now, and I planted some of these just a month or so ago. I've got 4 new ones.
Wow, so you've got 8
grow.
now, 8 in total.
Well, no, because I've given some away and I lost one.
Right,
Anyway,
okay.
I've got them planted. Now, the thing that you're going to find absolutely amazing with these is that they look like this right now, but in just a few months' time, it is incredible what they turn into, isn't it?
I'll
get it.
Yeah,
I'll get
honestly.
it. You talk about it.
Because sometimes it's one thing talking about something, but when you actually do it and you get the results, Bex is going to show in her phone. I think Bex planted them in February one year.
Oh, I've got the wrong phone.
And then she planted them in February, and honestly, by June, July time, they went from this kind of pretty much sticks with just little buds on to absolute huge, great big globes of stunning, beautiful flower colour in those lovely, lovely shades. And not only were there loads of flowers on there, there were buds as well, just to keep that colour going for month after month after month. So if you're thinking to yourself, you know what, to get from this to like what Bex is going to show you, that's going to take a couple of years. Honestly, all it takes is about 4 or 5 months.
Oh, I'm not connected. I thought I'd done everything, and I haven't. Oh, here we go. All right, give me a second. Okay, so I planted these originally back in February 2023. This was the 8th of February 2023. Okay, so you can see them all planted individually. They look very much like what we're bringing you at the moment. So
basically next month.
Yeah, so I'll keep going. So 8th of February 2023, just scrolling through my reel here. There you go, 17th of June, same plant. I've just moved it to the front of the house, that's all, okay? But same plant, and just a few months later, February to June, look at all the flowers, look at all the buds. And it's absolutely incredible.
See, if you look at that picture, if we just look at that picture there for a moment. So this is why we say about bare root, because you're getting 4 of these for £18. That's going to work out what, like about like, what's that? 4, about
8,
5,
12, 16.
£4.50?
Yeah, something like that.
About £4.50 a plant.
Under a £5 a plant.
Under a £5 a plant. You could go to a garden centre in June with one like that in a pot. I mean, imagine that was literally like that in a garden centre. You could pay anything from £30 to £35 for one of them flowering like that. So that goes to show, even though these are bare root, in that same period of time, you can get a bare root plant to look as brilliant as one that's pot grown, and you can pay like a 1/6 or an 1/8 of the cost that you would buying it like that in a garden centre in June.
So bear in mind that you can have these results as well. Yes, I do a lot of gardening, but it's easy. Well, you plant it, and as long as you put it in a sunny spot and keep it watered occasionally, which at this time of year, listen, you don't have to do too much, do you? The weather will do it for you. You will have those results in just a few months' time, and they're going to come back for you year after year as well. My biggest top tip that I'm going to give you is please don't prune too hard in the first year, because I did that with one of mine. I really went a bit too nuts with it and it never recovered. Just light pruning first year, and then it's dead simple and easy after that.
Yeah, and when you plant, just plant so the lowest root is just below soil level. And when it comes to pruning, always with roses, late winter time, early spring is a good time to prune.
I normally do mine end of January, February time.
Yeah, ideal, absolutely ideal. And if these have been going for a couple of years or so, all you'd want to do is any branches that are kind of congested in the middle of the plant, that are growing inwards or rubbing or scraping, you'd remove those, and just a gentle trim round the edge to a nice outward facing bud. And then you just let the magic happen.
But ignore them this year.
Yeah,
don't plant it. You can see that they're shooting already. Don't do anything with it this year. Next year, just a light prune over the top, and that's it, honestly. And they flower from, you see the buds starting to form in May. I'm going to say flowering from June, July, August, September, and into October. I would say a good sort of 4 or 5 months worth of flowers you'll get. Little bit of deadheading to keep those blooms coming. And every year for many years you'll have them. They won't get taller either, will they?
No, because the actual stems stay, these are patio standard roses, so the actual stem will stay this high. All the growth happens on top. But obviously, because you're going to prune them each year, you'll keep them nice and compact.
Nice ball of colour up at the top there.
And feed them. That's a really important thing. Roses really like good feed. It could be a liquid feed, it could be a granular feed, but whether in the ground or in containers, and of course if they're in containers, you can bring them right up to the house and enjoy those flowers. Did you get any fragrance? Is it a slight fragrance?
Not massively fragrant, no, not this variety. It's very much about the visuals with what you're getting here, but just you saw how many roses you're getting, and that's why I loved them. You are going to get the 4 different colours, the red, the yellow, the pink, the white. I have them out the back of the house most of the time, but I do like to bring them to the front of the house and have them either side of the front door. They look beautiful. 530199 is the item number. You will get all 4 of those. We've just got them sat in a bucket of water here to show you, but you will get all 4. And bear in mind, I planted my original lot February, and they look like that in June. So you will get that displayed this year. They really are very incredible. £18.68, a huge saving on that particular pack as well. Look at the saving, £57.98, and no postage to pay when you use that code. We're going to bring you on to some acers now. Now, acers are deciduous plants. They are bare of their leaves at the moment, but they are simply in their dormant state.
They are, and even when they're dormant, especially once they mature a little bit, they look great in the winter time, because quite often acers have very vivid green or red or even orange stems, so they look great against the winter sky, the low sun. And because they've got quite an intricate branch system, once they've developed, they look great covered in a hoarfrost or great covered in a little tiny fall of snow. But don't worry about how cold it gets during the winter for these, because even small plants like this can take real punishing frosts.
Yeah.
Where they grow naturally, they grow kind of sort of places like Japan, China, Korea, in areas that have much, much colder winters than ours, and they'll get through. But of course, if you get them in now and plant them, the one thing you can enjoy is the new emerging foliage. And we're going to have a little VT with me in it, showing you all about acers. Have you always wanted to grow acers? We've got 3 stunning plants here that are great for shade. 3 gorgeous varieties. The first one is Orange Dream, with this new foliage that comes through this gorgeous orangey colour. Then we've got Butterfly. Oh my goodness me, you've got pinks, you've got creams, you've got all sorts of colours there. Then we've got the Atropurpureum with the dark reddish coloured leaves. The contrast between these 3 is phenomenal. They like shade, they like damp soil, they're long-lived, they'll come back year after year. They look magnificent in summer and spring, but wait until the autumn. The autumn colours on acers are just out of this world. They'll get to about 1 metre or so tall, easy to grow, bone hardy, by the way. They don't care about frost. They'll come back year after year, and they even look gorgeous in the winter with their beautiful fine branch structure.
So there they were out on the nursery in the shade tunnel, which is where we keep the acers. It was a slightly different pack. We do one that's not the Orange Dream. We have the Butterfly in there. This one, you're going to get the Emerald Lace, the Orange Dream, the Atropurpureum, which I personally think is a better combination because you get a slightly better colour contrast between them. It's 510134. It's just over a £5 a plant there, £16.97, which is a really awesome price that you're getting for 3 Japanese maple acers. I love love them. They're one of my favourite plants. You know this already, regulars. You've been watching for a while. You know it's one of my faves. I'm going to go and do some pruning on my Aces. Not yet.
No.
I'm going to wait.
Yeah, because they don't like being pruned.
They don't like being pruned in winter.
No,
but I'm
no.
going to do, because you can see just a little bit of pruning that needs doing. I'm going to wait until it warms up, though. Early spring is the time to do it. All right, 100125 is the item number for your premium professional compost. 100 litres, you're getting the best compost you'll ever use.
And we've just got 1 minute
to
talk about it. Go on, then.
Go.
No, I did last time. You do this time.
Right, so this is the best compost. It's peat reduced, not a huge amount in here. We've minimised the peat, but we still get all of those maximum results. It's got the best texture. I mean, digging into this compost to plant bulbs, to plant anything, is so much nicer than digging into heavy, claggy soil. It's got that lovely texture, which means that roots can get in and they can grow. Strong-rooted plant means a strong and healthy plant, one that will grow bigger, be able to deal with stresses, be able to deal with different weather conditions, pests, diseases, those sorts of things. It is pH balanced, so it's somewhere near the middle, which means that it's the perfect spot for the majority of plants. The only real exceptions are going to be your acid-loving plants, your rhododendrons and your gardenias and those sorts of things. It's got a wetting agent, which really helps the water to soak into it, but it'll hold on to that moisture as well, which means your watering jobs in summer are so much easier, because hopefully you don't need to water quite as much. It's got the highest rating of all of the things that we bring you, and it is the item that we sell the absolute most of. If you know us and you've been shopping with us a while, you already know all of this, but if you're brand new, I really want to urge you to try this compost, because it makes the biggest difference.
Although I'll tell you one big thing this compost definitely lacks.
What's that?
Fungus gnats.
Yeah, it definitely
Don't get those.
That. No. If you've got houseplants and you've got fungus gnats, the probability is that it's because of the compost that you've been using, you have introduced those into your home. You won't get that with this. So it's perfect for your outside garden space, but it's also perfect for repotting all your houseplants in, which you should probably be doing in late winter, early spring. It's a really good time to repot your houseplants. So if you haven't done it for a while, get yourself some of this and repot in sort of 6-8 weeks.
And you can't help playing with this, can you?
No.
Because it just
lovely.
feels so nice and light and airy.
Smells good as well.
Yeah, it always has that fresh smell. It never smells mouldy or claggy or stale, does it? Brilliant stuff.
100125 then is your item number. It's £21.23. Your delivered price on this one. Remember, there's no postage to pay, but we will deliver it direct to your home, which is a wonderful thing. I hate buying these bagged products and having to lug them into the car, so we'll deliver it direct to your door. We're bringing you back over to the favourites table. So these are the ones that we've selected that we think that you are going to be buying the most of. We never get it right, but hey, we try. We've got the seed potatoes, which are the beautiful Maris Pipers.
That's a whopping great big bag as well, isn't it?
2.5 kilos. It's good.
I mean, the quality of these is great as well. I mean, really lovely kind of firm, good seed potatoes that are going to give you those results this year. And Maris Piper is what we call an early main crop. Main crop are normally the last potatoes to kind of come to fruition in the garden, but this is going to be one of the first of the main crops that you can harvest, and it's probably one of the most loved potatoes you can grow. You go in the supermarkets, you see Maris Piper, because they give you the most super crispy, crunchy chips. They're going to give you the most beautiful roast potatoes, those lovely crunchy outsides, those lovely gorgeous fluffy middles, and big crops on these as well. And 3 ways to grow these. You might even be able to think of more. Of course, you can grow them in the open ground. You need to earth them up. You can grow them in our heavy-duty pots, and you can grow them in the potato grow bags as well. But whatever way you grow these, you are going to get really good crops, and all you need to do is get them home. It's a little bit early to start chitting them yet, but get them home. And that picture you can see now, if you look at the bottom there, you can see those little eyes on the bottom of that potato. When we get round to chitting, you need to put those like in an egg tray, for example, egg box, with those eyes facing upwards on a lovely bright windowsill. Grow those to about a couple of inches tall. Then you can plant them out in the ground or your pots or your containers, and that will give them a really good head start. And then all you need to do after that is, whether they're in the ground, pots or the grow bags, is just keep earthing them up all the time. So only ever allow the top 2 or 3 inches of foliage to show through. Keep chasing them up to the top of the pot or the bags. Wait for them to flower and start dying down, and then you're ready to harvest your potatoes.
It's such an easy process. I had so much fun doing it that year. I did it with the kids. It's really quite fulfilling, enjoyable, and then you get to roast them, chip them, mash them, bake them, do whatever you want to do with them, and they will store as well if you store them correctly. Okay, so 350078, you'll get 2.5 kilograms of the Maris Piper potatoes, and you can get those out pretty soon and get growing your own
Just
potatoes.
a quick question for you.
Yes?
If you had to choose between a plate of crispy chicken skin and a plate of crispy roasts, what way are you going to go?
Oh, Adam, I'm taking the chicken skin every time.
I think I'd go for the chicken skin as well, yeah.
But that is a tough decision.
We do have a bit of a thing about crispy chicken skin, don't we?
It's my favourite thing in the world, honestly, I love it. Okay, so saving £3 and saving your postage as long as you use the code. Millie, she's checked her account, there's only 3 voucher codes, I thought you got 5. You'll get 4 voucher codes worth £20 in total, this is what you should get, £5 each, so there should be 4 of those, and then there should be a couple of out too, I think, for your postage. If you are not seeing those and your membership has just renewed, please get in touch with our customer services and they will be able to look at that for you. I wish I could, but I just do the fun bit, which is to stand here and talk about plants to you. I don't have access to those systems, but customer services will look into it, okay? Yeah, sorry if that's wrong, but they will fix it for you. Yeah, Alice is taking the chicken skin every time. Yeah, but you don't like potatoes, Alice. So you're going to take chicken skin, aren't you? Right, moving on. Come on, let's move on to our roses. We're going to go to the oranges and lemons.
Yeah, or oranges and lemons or raspberry ripple. What we say about both, each of these applies to both because these are roses with something called a jumping gene. Now, in nature, in sort of humans and other creatures, that's not a good thing necessarily. But in plants, especially in roses, what it gives us is flowers that are unique and different every single time, from week to week, month to month, year to year. Once one of these buds pops open, you never know what you're going to get. And that's a real joyful thing with these because you can have a rose that is predominantly orange or predominantly yellow, or it might have 50-50 kind of orange and red. It might be really flecked on one side of the flower. It might be plain on the other. It really is a complete lottery. It's absolutely completely random. And that's the fun of these roses.
It is.
I mean, obviously some roses you grow with a stable gene. You always know exactly what the flower colours are going to be. But with these, every time you've got that joy, that fascination of knowing whether it's one or t'other. They're nice and compact, these roses, so all of them can be grown in pots or containers, of course in the open ground. They repeat flower from June, even late May to October, November. Nice healthy foliage. Not a huge fragrance on these, but a slight fragrance on them. And they're like sort of floribunda type roses as well. So you're going to get loads and loads of clusters of roses on the ends of really lovely strong stems.
That one is the oranges and lemons then, 530249. It is a bare root, so you get great value for money with bare roots. £11.04 your delivered price. Use the code, otherwise you'll be paying more and you'll be paying postage. And we've also got the raspberry ripple, so exactly the same story that Adam was telling you there, just the colours are different. You do get those wonderful sort of raspberry ripple colours. 530250, the item number there, and it's £11.04 your discount club price. Next up, we've got some bulbs for you, but these are the Crocosmia, and a brand new variety of Crocosmia brought into the potting shed. This one is called the Fire Stars Hotspot. And you are going to get in here, I think it's 5 bulbs? Yes, it's 5 bulbs you're going to be getting inside this one. But these do multiply, don't they?
Do they? Goodness me.
Do they?
Yeah, they are kind of one of the sort of the bulbs or corms, strictly speaking, that will kind of double up, quadruple up. I don't know what the next one is, but kind of,
quintuple up.
Quintuple up, if you like, sextuple up.
All right.
Yeah, so within 2 or 3 years, you're going to have great big clumps of these. You can see where the hotspot come from, because in the middle of this beautiful, pure yellow flower, you've got that lovely kind of red centre to them. They like a really lovely, sunny, well-drained position. They can get anything from 50 centimetres to 1.5 metres tall, depending on when you plant them in the garden. And the great thing about Crocosmias is they give you colour and flower the second half of the summer right into autumn. So when a lot of other bulbs, plants have finished flowering, these are great stalwarts for that second half of the season into the start of the autumn season. And easy. I mean, once you plant them, you'll find within 2 or 3 years, these 5 will suddenly be giving you 10, 15.
And you don't have to do anything to them either, do you? You can even use them as cut flowers, couldn't you?
Yeah, they do make really, really nice cut flowers, Bex, these. Quite different, quite unusual. And what you find is you'll get a flower spike that comes up, and then you get little branches that come off the central flower spike, and each one of those has clusters of flowers on each one. So it's a real beautiful kind of splayed out flower head on this, and they will flower for many, many weeks. 3 or 4, 5 weeks isn't out the question. And then eventually, if you want to, you can lift and divide these and actually spread them around the garden. They come from South Africa, but I've grown crocosmias, all different types of crocosmias for many years. I've seen them in all sorts of customers' gardens for many years, and if they're in that sunny, well-drained spot, then they are very, very hardy. They
Summer flowering, right? So about, what, June time?
These are probably second half of the summer. So these generally these crocosmia are going to be kind of July August,
onwards.
September. That kind of.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that end of the summer. These.
Because my lucifers come up earlier than that. Maybe that's just my garden.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where you plant them. If they're in a really hot, sunny position, sometimes they can flower a little bit earlier. If they're in sort of a slightly shadier space, then they can be a bit taller and a bit later flowering.
Yeah, there you go. All right, 580-110, the item number. You're going to get 5 of those in there. It's not a small number, I promise you. In time, those will multiply, so don't panic about that at all. Final item we've got for you on the favourites table. I do love this plant, the smoke bush. It is so stunning when this is in full bloom, when you get these lovely puffs of cloudy-looking pink flowers up at the top, and it will cover it as well.
Yeah, it's a really underused shrub, this. I don't know why more people plant these, because everything about it is top-notch in that it will take any amount of frost. So you can grow these in any part of the UK, no problem at all. In the summertime, they will take really, really droughty, dry conditions once they're established. They have the most beautiful, deep kind of maroon, plum-coloured leaves. And you can see there the lovely root system it's got. And then when they flower, they have these great big fluffy heads, almost like an astilbe kind of flower. And when you see these collected together from a distance, they almost look like a kind of a puff of smoke going up in the air, hence the kind of name smoke bush. But the good thing about Magic Torch is with Catinus generally, they can get 2 to 3 metres tall, even taller if you leave them. And with other Catinus in the spring, you can cut them right down and they reshoot and give you those beautiful, beautiful coloured shoots of all the leaves. But with a lot of varieties, if you cut them down in the spring, they will not flower the same year. The great thing about Magic Torch is it will flower on new wood. So if these do get too tall one year, late winter, cut them down, and the new shoots that come through will flower for you the same season.
And you were saying it's quite a fast-growing plant as well. So if you want to fill a corner quickly and you haven't got the patience, this would be a good one.
I'm not exaggerating. I've seen these grow 2 to 3 metres in one season.
That's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, Bex. I mean, they send out these thumping great big shoots, and within a week, that shoot will go kind of 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Love it.
Really grow fast.
Love it. All right, 511550 is the item number for the Catinus kigingria, which is also known as the smoke bush. £10 saving on there, £16.97 is the price. You will get all 3 of those. Let's give you a reminder of some of the items, and we have still got more to show you on the other table. We have got the patio cherry, the little Stella, comes in the 4.5 litre pot. I have got this. I'm thrilled. I'm hopeful that this year I might get some cherries on here. You probably won't get cherries in the first year. It probably just needs a little bit of time to establish, but we appreciate gardening. You need a little bit of patience occasionally. It doesn't get massive, which is the important thing about it. It's little Stella. It's been grafted onto dwarfing rootstock, so it's going to stay way smaller. Absolutely ideal for your container gardening as well, OK? So remember, get yourself a heavy-duty pot, some premium professional compost, and you'll be well away. 300164 is the item number. We had the roses for you. We've got the ripples. We've got the oranges and lemons, and we've also got the raspberry raspberry ripple as well. £11.04 is the price. These are formed using that jumping gene, which means they are unstable, but in a good way. So you're going to get a wonderful mix of the colours. And this one is the oranges and lemons, 530249. But we've also got the raspberry ripple for you on 530250. Bare roots are easy to plant. You've got up until the end of March, early April to get your bare roots planted. But don't worry about winter weather and, you know, cold and rain and wet and all the rest of it. Your only rules when planting your bare roots is if the ground is frozen solid. If there's a tiny bit of ground frost, don't panic. But if it's frozen solid or the ground is fully waterlogged, then you need to just wait to plant them. But other than that, you can get them out. And of course, you can temporarily plant them if you have got those problems. Some more roses for you. This is the Patio Standard Collection. So you're going to get 4 of the bare root roses here, red, yellow, pink and white. They are grafted. So you've got the flower head grafted on the top of the root, the stem there. And what that does is it means that it stays the same height, other than the top, which will obviously grow and fill out, but it won't get, you know, way taller. Easy to grow, absolutely floriferous. Amazing the amount of clusters of flowers you get up at the top there. They are beautiful, and you're going to get the 4 different colours. You can plant them in the ground, or they are very well suited to growing in pots as well, and long flowering. So, you know, end of May is when they will open their flowers. The buds will be forming from May onwards. Normally it's the end of May, early June, and they'll flower right the way through to, you know, autumn, October time. Beautiful. Bit of deadheading keeps those coming. Big saving on here as well, so please use that code. I do not want you to pay full price for these at all. Make sure you use the code and make sure you get the free postage by using that code as well. 530199 is the item number. Now, if you are planting anything today, compost is definitely the one. I don't think we've got anything on the show today that requires fully ericaceous compost. Just looking around. No, I don't think we do. So your premium professional compost is the one that you're going to need to use. 100125 is the item number. Do you know what? Adam's pointed out the Loropetalum. Matt said in my ear the citrus. Yes, there's a couple on the show that need ericaceous, but the majority are going to be living happily in this premium professional compost. The best compost you will use, the one that gives you the best results, that can revive an ailing or dying plant. It's got a wonderful texture, smells amazing, and you will find you'll get amazing vigorous growth. It's great for everything, seeds through to trees, everything in between, also your house plants. It's going to be brilliant for all of those. I exclusively use this now. Unless I need ericaceous compost, this is the compost that I use.
Do you think if I slept in a shower cap full of it every night, it'd regrow my hair?
Do you know what? We should give it a go.
Shall I try?
I think John would love that.
Okay.
John would be really pleased going to bed with you. And a shower cap of dirt.
And as Matt said, fungus gnat free as well. So
yeah, there you go.
What's to
It'll
lose?
be absolutely fine. 100125. Remember, we do deliver it to you, so you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to lift those heavy bags and get them in the car, and maybe you don't own a car. That makes buying those bigger, heavier products a bit more difficult, doesn't it? Gets delivered direct to your door. Right, we've got a whole nother table of things to show you here. We've got the beautiful hydrangea hot chocolate. Now, whenever we talk about hydrangea hot chocolate, I always think that this doesn't necessarily look like a hydrangea.
It kind of, it's a bit of a rogue in the sense that it's got a bit of a different growing
That's
habit,
what
isn't
I quite like about it, though.
Yeah, because this one gets to 3 to 4 metres tall, which is, you know, normally when we talk about hydrangeas, we say about 1 metre tall, well, sometimes even 60 centimetres for some of the smaller ones. But this forms a really beautiful shrub that you can allow to grow up in a corner of a garden, a central feature, perhaps in a front garden or a lawn area. And it has so many different kind of attributes because the foliage comes through this chocolatey colour, hence hot chocolate. But it's got this, again, really interesting characteristics that part of the leaf can be a purpley colour, even down to sort of a brown chocolatey colour, and then other parts of the leaf can be green. So you get that wonderful foliage contrast, but then you get these really delicate flower heads that have the pink bracts, and then in the middle you get these purpley blue flowers. So it is a plant of true contrast, this one. It's very, very hardy, very tough. It will grow in full sun or part shade. As I say, it can get to 2 to 3, 4 metres tall eventually. The only thing you need to remember about this one is, and you don't need to worry about this for the first 2 or 3 years, but if you ever do want to prune it, you need to remember it does flower on the previous year's wood, this one. So if you kind of trim it down like completely one year, you're going to lose flower. So what you need to do with this one as time goes by is just gently give it a little tidy up. You don't have to go berserk with it. It's one of those hydrangeas that looks better kind of just left to do its thing. Don't you think, Bex? Just kind of look natural and loose and not too kind of trimmed back and, what's the word, when you make manicured. You don't want it manicured, do you?
Yes.
Kind of just leave it to look wild and do its beautiful flowering.
The colour combination, though, of those flowers, it's got this wonderful sort of lilac-y colour and then the pink, but then it's the contrast against the darker foliage, and that's what really makes this one a bit stand out. Plus, of course, as Adam was saying, the size that this can reach can be really quite, beautiful. 511507, the item number. It's only £12.74. Remember, they are fully winter hardy. You can plant them now. Just make sure you keep it regularly watered. That's the key with hydrangeas. They don't want to dry out. Next up, we have got a collection of rose bushes for you, all bare roots, but you are going to get 5 different bare roots included in here, colour labelled, tagged there, so you can see the different colours. But the special thing here is that each and every one of them is going to be a hybrid tea. Yeah,
which is nice. Now, when we talk about hybrid tea roses, and they're all the roots are beautifully wrapped up in there, keeping moist. A hybrid tea rose is what Bex and I quite often describe as one of your Valentine Day kind roses. So what you're looking at is a nice strong stem with one single very attractive flower on top. That's what these will give you in this beautiful range of colours. You've got reds, you've got pinks, you've got whites, you've got oranges, those lovely, lovely different mixtures there. Some of these will be fragrant as well, but all easy to grow, all nice and compact, only reaching sort of 90 centimetres or so. So very easy to grow in pots or containers. But of course, as always, you can grow them in the ground. And we say this a million times, and it's worth mentioning because you might be watching this the first time ever. Just one thing to remember when you plant these roses is always make sure the little knuckly bit of the base is at least 1 inch to 2 inches below the final soil level. But the good thing about these is these will flower for you this year in 2026. Get them home, give them a good soak overnight, plant them like we just described, dig in lots of organic material into the soil before you backfill the hole that the plant's going into. Water them, even now, water them in, because that will make sure the soil's in full contact with the roots. As they start to grow in the spring, keep them really, really well watered, and you will get your first flushes of flower probably June, July this year. And they will repeat flower, and they will last year after year after year. Super healthy foliage on these as well, and also really, really good for cut flowers.
530211 is the item number. You will get 5 of those bare roots. It's a £15 saving. I've just looked at the price. £12.74, your discount club price here. So you're getting 5 roses for under £13.
Well, if you used a voucher.
A voucher?
You used a voucher.
I mean, that's
down to 7.
That's decades of colour in your garden potentially with those as well. And it's free postage. That is a crazy price on that. That's a bargain. I don't often use that word, but that's a bargain.
Scrub everything we've just said, ignore it. Go out May, June time to a garden centre, buy them grown in a pot and pay $19.99 to $24.99 per plant.
Per plant. Yeah, you could be paying £100 for 5 potted hybrid tea roses. And
absolutely. And you proved a moment ago, when you showed the standards there, that
how quickly they grow.
Yeah, exactly, in the same year. You get the same result from these bare root in the same year as you would buying them already pot grown, but for like a fraction of the cost.
Wow. How many roses did you plant last year in your new bit of the garden?
About 40, I think, in total. Yeah.
That's going to look so good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it this
coming
year.
to your house this year.
No, you're
I need
welcome.
to come and have a look around your garden. Right, 530211 is the Rose Hybrid Tea Collection. You can't come to my garden, it looks rubbish. We're moving on to the corner. It doesn't look good at the minute. The Corners Midwinter Fire in the 19-centimetre pot. A plant for all seasons, but particularly valued for this.
Well, as well as super, super fragrant Sarcococa Anglesey Abbey, they do have these Anglesey Abbey as well. And these are great. This is Corners Midwinter Fire. It's probably one of the most well-known, renowned, loved winter flowering shrubs for that stem colour, but it looks great all the year through because in spring you get these lovely, lovely lime-coloured leaves that burst out, then flat heads of flower, beautiful white flower, almost like a small cow parsley kind of flower head on these, and they can actually produce berries, and they look good all the way through the summer. And then in the autumn and winter, you have masses and masses of these wonderful stems that can be red, they can be orange. It can get to 2 to 3 metres tall eventually. And on a winter's day, you get one of those beautiful blue days that's freezing cold but blue with the low winter sun. These look awesome, especially when they're wet.
They're Award of Garden Merit. They are the RHS Award of Garden Merit winners.
Easy for you to say.
Plus, they've just given them the badge of Perfect for Pollinators as well. So this is it's an award-winning one, and you're going to be bringing those pollinators into your garden, plus providing a bit of winter interest as well with those beautiful red and orange stems on there. 511360, £12.74 is your discount club price. Can I just point out the size of that plant as well, please? £12.74. That is amazing, and that I know is going to be an absolute rooty beauty, which it absolutely is. Look at that.
I'll tell you what we didn't mention, because we've had a relationship with this plant for about the last year, haven't we? The same one. In the autumn, the leaves were blooming beautiful, weren't they?
Beautiful colour.
Orange, yellows, reds. So it's a shrub that looks good all the year through.
OK, next up we've got the Loropetalum, the black pearl for you. Now this is one that does like it slightly ericaceous, not fully, right?
Yeah,
slightly.
I mean, yeah, neutral to kind of slightly acid kind of thing.
Kind of likes it. OK.
But the nice thing about this one is it's a good plant for those sort of shady, cool, dappled light kind of areas. So where your acers thrive and grow, this will do very well. It's also do very well where things like hostas and corydalis and lily of the valley and all those plants thrive. That's what it'll enjoy. And it's got a nice habit to it because it kind of gets wider than it does taller.
And it also works beautifully in pots and containers as well, just like in Sean Ryan's mum's garden.
So I'm actually in my mum's garden. This is what we call her little oriental garden. I mean, the rest is really traditional over there. But I want to show you one of the most striking plants. It's called Loropetalum. It's really unusual. I absolutely love it. So it is evergreen, and the foliage is the most incredible, intense burgundy. That is so beautiful. But in springtime, this flowers. And the flowers it gets are almost like little clusters of crimson ribbons that are like fireworks. I love the fact that it's very slow growing, so it's not going to be invasive. It's got a lovely tranquility, and I think it works really well with things like acers, cordylines. I've got the Charlie Boy there. Also looks great next to water features, Buddhas, that kind of look. But it is a beautiful, beautiful plant. And I adore the way it naturally grows. So it kind of meanders. It just gently kind of trails over the edge of pots and things like that. It's quite low growing, but that colour foliage and the shape of the leaves is just spectacular. So if you order yours now, get it established for springtime, and you wait in kind of March, April, you'll get the most amazing flowers as well. It's known as Loropetalum.
It looks really cool in that light-coloured pot, doesn't it? And I imagine, obviously, that's a younger plant. As that matures and gets bigger, that's going to look incredible there, particularly because there's a white gravel on the floor there as well. I think this is very much a plant for your planting combinations because you've got the dark foliage here, and you can see with those greenery plants around the edge there, it's going to provide amazing contrast. The bright pink flowers are stunning as well. 510604 is your item number. It's £11.04. That's crazy. I know we've been... I mean, the RRP of $14.99, I know we've been charging more for that in the past. So $11.04 is a really, really good price on there. OK, yeah, 510604. If you do want to place an order, by the way, if you've just tuned in, hello, my name's Bex, this is Adam. We're here to talk to you about all of the wonderful YouGarden plants. You can go to yougarden.com, which is where you can look at the entire range. You can shop the entire website, but you will pay postage on those items. If you look for the YouGarden TV or the Live Now button, go in there and you will see all of the items that we have selected for the show. These are the ones that come with free postage as long as you use the offer code that you'll see on screen in a second. Every single item here has been selected for this week's show, so these are the ones that will have the free postage on them. Your code is YGTV0326. We've got a bit of grow your own for you, and I still haven't done it, and I will at some point, you know, when I move house, blah, blah, blah. So I'm still annoyed about it. I'm still annoyed that it all fell through. But anyway.
Let it go. Let it go. Just let it go.
Let it go. I really want a seating area, an outdoor seating area that's got a grapevine sort of growing up and around and over it. I think they are beautiful plants to do that with.
Move to Tuscany.
Yeah, right. But I want to create that Tuscany garden here in the UK, in my garden, and it's totally possible, isn't it?
It is, definitely, because grapevines, again, it's one of those fruits that a lot of people think you cannot grow grapevines in the UK. You can most definitely 100 zillion% grow grapevines in the UK. We've got some of the world's most renowned wines being grown in British vineyards. All these ask for is a nice sunny, well-drained position, digging lots of nice organic material into the soil before you plant them. They do particularly well on chalky soils as well. So if you, in an area of very chalky soil, they'll thrive. They love, let's say, that sunny position, and they get to about, I mean, I think it says on here about 2 metres or so. But
it'll get taller than
yeah,
that if you
I
wanted
would.
to.
I mean, we've got 100 to 120 centimetres. I'd take that with a pinch of salt, to be honest. Not literally, because that wouldn't be nice with grapes. Yeah, I mean, sort of grow them. They probably get to about 3 or 4 metres tall, and they are quite vigorous. But a bit like when we mention the fig, we say to you sometimes, OK, you might not grow it primarily for the figs, but it's got beautiful leaves. Exactly the same for this. Even if you're not a huge fan or you're not fussed whether you get grapes or not, which you will very easily, the leaves on this are beautiful, and it grows very, very quickly. So if you're looking for something that has beautiful foliage that's going to give you a crop of very sweet edible grapes, but that's going to cover an ugly space or an ugly view very quickly, whether it's on a wall or trellis or up an old tree stump or somewhere, grow a grapevine. Honestly, they are so easy to grow, very easy to prune in the winter time, don't really get any pest or diseases, and even in the autumn before the leaves drop, they turn a beautiful buttery yellow colour, so you get interest pretty much all the year through with these.
Very hardy, very easy, and only £12.74 in your basket today. No postage to pay. 340034, your item number if you would like to grab hold of that. You just go to yougarden.com to place your order, or there is a phone line. It's open during the week, so 0844 502 0050. If you are trying to place an order at the weekend, you would need to use the website or just wait until during the week, because we're not open on the week. The phone lines aren't open on the weekends yet. They will be once we get a bit further through the season. Okay, we are back in the middle for you. Got a couple of the items that have been popular so far to show you. Starting off with the Patio Cherry Little Stella. These are the sort of most popular items so far during the live today.
Which doesn't surprise me, because going back 20 years or so, if you want to grow a cherry tree, you'd have to grow a thumping great big cherry tree. I mean, I'm talking proper tree size. And then you've got to try and protect the cherries from the birds. You've got to try and harvest them. That's all gone now, because they've brought in beautiful varieties like this. This stunning, cute little plant that only gets about 1.5 metres tall, but it will be smothered in loads and loads of cherries. And you're going to get pounds and pounds of cherries from this as the years come. But all you can do very easy is grow this in a pot or a container or in the ground. There's no huge, great big root systems to worry about. I know some people worry when it comes to cherry trees because they can send out those surface roots that can lift up paving and tarmac and stuff. None of that with this. So if you've got the smallest space, just a balcony anywhere, you can grow your own homegrown cherries, and not just cherries, the blossom as well. In the spring is beautiful and gorgeous, and cherry trees are also renowned for their autumn coloured foliage. So, you know, what's not to like about this beautiful little Stella?
So I'm growing one of these in a 30-litre heavy-duty pot. You will need to let it just get established, first year. I'm not expecting you to get loads of cherries this year, but from next year onwards, that's when you really should start seeing some cherry production on here. And obviously when it's fully established, loads of cherries. Full-sized fruits, but miniature tree. 300164, the item number. You are saving £15 on that one. You can get it home for £21.24. Another item that we brought back for you is the beautiful cherry blossom. This is the Kanzan. So you've got your cherry production there with the fruits. This one is all about the flowers, and cherry blossom time is the most magical time, isn't it? We love cherry blossom season. And I'll say this before I let you talk, Adam. There's a few plants every year that when they're in bloom, people come in and start asking about them. And it's cherry blossoms, it's wisteria, and it is magnolias.
Yeah.
Those are the three. But I want you to get it before the blooming season so that you can enjoy all of that blooming season.
Last year, I went out and bought 6 cherry trees for my garden because I've done exactly that. Ever since I've been a kid, I've gone round parks, gardens, all sorts of places, and I've seen cherry blossom every spring, and I've always thought, I want that in my garden. I don't want to be looking at other people having it. So I've got 6 cherry trees that are smothered in buds that are going to flower for the first time. I've got a Kanzan. It is probably the archetypal, most beautiful, stunning, typical cherry tree you see in spring. You know, when you drive round and you see some cherry trees and then you see another one and you go, oh, that's nice. Wow, oh my God. That is seriously nice. That's this one. This is the one that really will be kind of like blow your socks off when it comes to flowering cherries. Super, super double pink, shell pink flowers. And this bare root one, I'd say I get excited about cherries, as you can tell.
We can tell, loving it.
But when you look at this tree, what's the smudgy bit on there?
I don't know, a bit of a blurry on the picture there.
But, I mean, there's a good chance this will flower for you this year as well.
I believe so. You can see loads of buds.
Yeah,
you should get flowers.
On a cherry tree, when you see the buds clustered like this together, that Matt's thinking, oh my goodness me, I'll never be able to show that. When you get them like little clusters like that...
He's coming.
There you go. So those little cluster buds like that, there you go.
A cluster bud?
They're flower buds when you see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, because each one of those will be an individual flower that will give you, if it was an edible cherry, would give you, an edible cherry on each stem. But when you look up here and you see these single, more pointy shoots, they're your leaf ones.
Yes.
So that's telling me that even this year, on this bare root, you're going to get some blossom. But once this is established, from 2027 onwards, year after year, for a couple of weeks, you are going to get knockout, unbelievably beautiful spring blossom.
500027 is your item number if you want to go for it. You are getting a £5 saving on that one. So if you put the offer code in YGTV0326, £5 saving and no postage, which would normally be £6.99. So it's a decent saving just by simply entering a code. Go to YouGarden.com to place your order. It will come to you as the bare root, as Adam is showing you.
And I think also that's, again, been grafted. So
yeah, definitely.
So my gut feeling they've done that, again, to keep this quite compact as a flowering cherry as well.
It also stops the roots from spreading too far, which is important, isn't it? Because it's on a dwarfing rootstock, which means you've also got dwarfing roots, basically.
Which means you can plant it, not right near the house, but not far from the house.
A couple of metres away from the house, you should be fine.
I've got a garden I go to in Cambridge, and I love it in the spring because they've got like a central round lawn with a drive that goes all the way round.
Oh, lovely.
And bang in the middle, they've got a Prunus Kanzan underplanted with orange, yellow and red tulips.
Amazing.
And I'll show you the flower. I'll show you the picture next time, and they flower exactly the same time. They've got these electric gates, and when I open the gates and I just see this blossom tree, it's like, wow. That is so, so beautiful.
That sounds fancy. That's like the dream, isn't it? All right, 500027 is your item number to go for your Cherry Prunus Kanzan. It is the bare root, so give it a little drink, soak it before you plant it. Keep the graft point above the soil surface, and you should get flowers this year, but for many years. The beautiful thing with cherry blossom trees is that they live for flipping ages, and they're winter hardy and they're easy to grow. If you would like to have a look at everything, go to YouGarden.com, look for the Live Now button, and you'll be able to see everything that we've got available for you. One thing we would like you to add into your order would be the compost, because, well, look, you're planting things, you need some compost to plant them in, don't you? And this is going to be the best compost, the one that gives you the biggest and the best results.
Yeah, if I could give one bit of advice about this, is don't run out.
Yes.
Always keep a couple of bags of this in reserve. I try and do that. I've got about 8 or 9 bags sitting in my garden at the moment, because once you've started using this, you will not want to use any other compost, because the results are phenomenal. It's reduced peat, it's got a slow release fertiliser that can feed plants for up to 6 months. You've got that composted wood fibre keeping it open and airy. You've got a nice pH balance on this as well. Just so many things. A wetting agent. So even if it dries out, you know those cheap composts, when they dry it and you try and water them, water just cascades straight off. With this, it's much more amenable to soaking that water back in and hydrating your plant very quickly. And if you ignore everything Bex and I have said, just look at what everyone else says. The 5-star reviews. Talk to people in the chat right now. Ask them. If you've not ordered this before, ask somebody if you use this. If they have, nobody will badmouth it. Everybody will tell you they've had the most incredible results, whether it's indoor plants, fruit, vegetables, flowers, perennials, seeds, cuttings, plug plants. Everything does brilliant in this compost.
House plants as well. Don't neglect your house plants. Repot those. I normally try and do, if I'm doing any repotting of house plants, I'll wait just till maybe mid to end March. That's a really good time to repot your house plants. But yeah, use this for your house plants as well. I'm going to be placing a large order for this because I'm going to be extending one of the beds in my garden. I'm going to widen it a little bit. And
oh, is that going to be your big hydrangea bed?
Yeah,
because I know you keep talking
I'm
about that.
going to dig up everything that's in there and I'm going to replant it with the hydrangeas and maybe a couple of fatsias. And
that sounds good.
It's going to be fun. But yeah, I need loads of bags of this, so don't run out. I have got experience of running out and using a cheap pool compost, and my plants definitely suffered for it, so I am repotting those in this year.
Have you got your coat? Matt said we've got to wrap up.
Yeah, we've got to wrap up.
OK. I didn't bring mine.
Get warm. No, we've got to finish.
Oh, right,
Sadly, that's it for this week. So we are live every Thursday between 2 and 4 o'clock. That's the schedule at the moment. I don't know if that will change. If it does, we will let you know. But every single week, 2 till 4 on a Thursday is when we will be here. Of course, you can watch the shows back at any time on Facebook and on YouTube and on our website as well. So thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Stay wrapped up warm. It's cold and wet and windy outside, but it's going to be nicer tomorrow, apparently.
It is, yeah.
In most areas. So love from us, myself and Adam and Matt, who's in the room. If you are a TikToker, I will be live again this evening from 5 till 8 on TikTok. So I'd love to see you there. Going to go and get some food now. We'll see you soon.
Bye.